Hello. I was trying to think of a song to work on, and I kind of well, we were doing some Bob Marley stuff. So what else is there along those lines, but maybe not Bob Marley? Just something a little different. And I came up with a song I Can See Clearly Now. And I was like, yeah, that's an awesome tune. Okay, so that's what we're going to work on. It's fairly simple, and actually, you know what? I'm pretty sure it's Johnny Nash, but I should Google it just to be sure. Johnny Nash, and yes, it is Johnny Nash. I Googled and a picture of him popped up and I was like, yep, that's the guy. So anyway, it's a pretty simple song, pretty easy. The chords are D, and I like, for this song definitely, I like this D. I know I tend to prefer this D anyway, but definitely like this, and I'll show you why in a minute. G, I would go with this G. So for the D, definitely it's the 2, 2, 2, and then 5 down here on the A string. And then the G, although that would be a G, I'm going to go with this G here. So 4, 2, 3, 2. And again, I'll show you in a minute. Unfortunately, the A is pretty much the 2, 1, 0, 0. Any other option for that? Well, you know what? Let's go with this A here. 6, 4, 5, 4. So it's just like the G. 2 frets up. Okay, so we'll go with that A, definitely. Then there's like a little sort of the end of the verse. I don't know if it's a chorus. I don't know what to call it. It's C, and now we can just go with the regular C. The G, we can go with the regular G. And the D, I would still go with this one. Again, we'll get to why. Then we have the bridge, is an F. C, F, A again. There's a G in there. There's a B minor in there. And a C sharp minor. So, a C sharp minor. 6, 4, 4, 4. And of course the B minor, 4, 2, 2, 2. So those are all the chords for the song, I believe. Yes, those are all the chords. So now we have the rhythm of the chords. Okay, and this is where we come in with the why did I say this D? Although I like this D anyway, but definitely this G also. I prefer the regular old G, but here we're going to need this G and the A, definitely this A, because the rhythm for it has some little like clicky sounds, like, and you can't do the without your fingers on the strings. Okay, so what we're doing is we're muting out the strings with our left hand. Okay, by lightly touching them, not pressing down, just touching the strings. So just lay your fingers across the strings, and that's the clicky sound that we want. Okay, so if we do this G, we can go click, strum, click, strum, click, strum. So what I'm doing is, when I strum, I press down. When I do the click, I lift up. So I don't know if you can see that. Press down, lift up. Press down, lift up. Press down, lift up. I'm never lifting my fingers off the strings though. Okay? So play the chord, press down, lift up, you get the click sounds. Chord, click, chord, click. Okay? So that's why we have that G there. Because if we did this G, that first string is open, there's no way to stop it without going, so then you're going like, and that's just way too much jumping around. We don't want to do that. Make it easier this way. Okay? So the rhythm for it, okay, if we count in eighth notes, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, it's the click on the 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? So, does that make sense? Hopefully. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So if we kind of speed it up a little bit, which tends to be easier to sort of understand how to actually play it. Okay, I'll speed it up and you just kind of play along and see what you can do. Okay, so let me see. So 1 and 2 and yeah, I messed up. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So that's the rhythm for most of it. Okay, there are some spots where, like, I think it was the last lesson that we talked about, where certain parts you may want things to be a little louder, a little bigger sounding. Okay, so in this song, there's a part about the bright, sunshiny day, and it's sort of like at the end of each verse, and it's C. Okay, don't worry about the chords right now, we'll go over them. Okay, but here you're just strumming. Actually, sorry, the D then goes back to. And again, we'll go over that. And then there's a bridge part where it's all. So I'm just kind of strumming whatever. You could just easily just go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But that, to me, all by itself, tends to sound a little too bland. So I just like to go, you know, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I'm just sort of strumming as I feel it. So I'm not always hitting every up and every single down, every number and every and, you know, 1 and 2. But whatever. But it's just more of a sort of straightforward rhythm. For that part. So anyway, the intro, let's go over the chords now. Okay, and, you know, again, it'll all be down there. So the intro is D, that's D, thinking guitar D, ukulele D, and it's three measures. Okay, and it's really like a little kind of bass guitar thing happening. It sort of like slowly kind of fades in, but we can still do the D, and doing that sort of reggae rhythm for this song, the 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2 and 4. So that's the intro 3 times. A little bit weird, but that's the intro 3 times. Okay, so then the verse is D, 1 measure, and then G, 1 measure, and then back to D for 2 measures. Then the next line is D, G, A. Then the third line is D, G, D. Then the little bright sunshiny day part, C, G, then D for 2 measures. Then C, G, D for 2 measures again. Pretty simple. So that's sort of like the verse and then the little sunshiny day part. I don't know what you would call it. There's no real chorus because the verse is kind of like the chorus, because the first line is "I can see clearly now." That's the name of the song. But anyway, so then the next part of the song is the verse. Okay, but now it's only one sunshiny day. So you play the verse. D, 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 G, A, D, G, D, D, G, C, G, D. So only one time for that little ending line, the sunshiny day part, the C, G, D, and D. Then we get to the bridge. So it's F for 2 measures. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. C for 2 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. F 2, 3, 4. F 2, 3, 4. A 2, 3, 4. A 2, 3, 4. Okay, and at this point, it sort of goes to like a little bit of a sort of swingy feel. It sounds like it's like a halftime feel. So that just means it sounds like it gets slower, but it doesn't really. Okay, and I think I know we went over that in a previous lesson too. But so then it goes to the C sharp minor. So so C sharp minor, G, C sharp minor. Am I doing C sharp minor? No. C sharp minor, sorry. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. G, C sharp minor, G, C, B minor, A. So the bridge is F, F, C, C. Then F, F, A, A. Then C sharp minor, G, C sharp minor, G, C, B minor, A, and A. Then it goes right back to the verse again. So A. Then the bright sunshiny day fades out. So, well, it doesn't fade. You play it until the fade out. So you just keep playing that until it fades out. And the version I listen to, if I really listen at the very end, I can hear it go through that part 4 times. You definitely hear 2. The 3rd time it's fading out. The 4th time it's really starting to fade out. But so it would be the bright sunshiny day part, the third time. Fourth time. And by then it's already faded out. So that's the song. Pretty simple. So the intro is D 3 times. Then it's just verse, verse with the last line sort of cut off. It's only one time instead of twice. Then the bridge part, then verse, and this is actually the lyrics, I believe, are the first verse again, but the chords are the verse again, either way. Then the last line 4 times. So, if that makes sense. I think it's easier if I say it this way. D 3 times for the intro. Then verse with the last line twice. Then verse with the last line once. Then the bridge. Then verse with the last line 4 times. That makes it simpler, I think. Okay, so anyway, that is I Could See Clearly Now by Johnny Nash. It's a cool song.